So, if this is your first time watching a PDDM 89 video, you might be wondering what the hell is this beautiful gecko that I've got on my hand. This animal is a Strophurus taenicauda. It's also known as a golden-tailed gecko. As you could tell, it gets its namesake from that gold stripe going down the tail. So, believe it or not, this female is actually fully grown. It doesn't get any bigger than this. And the males actually get a little bit smaller. But this girl here is about 2 years old. She may actually be 3. I have to go back and look at my videos to see what age she is exactly. But yeah, she's an adult female, and she is now a proven breeder, which is very exciting because these geckos are pretty rare. You don't see them available too often, especially up here in Canada. So you could see that she is very calm, which you might think is unusual for a gecko of this size. You know, typically with reptiles, the small little things tend to be the nervous, crazy things that just want to jump and leap right off you and run away. But these geckos, at least the pair that we have, are very calm. They're super easy to handle. They're not shy whatsoever. As a matter of fact, you could find them usually out in the open, even during the day, where they'll be basking under some UVB light. So really nice looking geckos, super easy to take care of. You're going to give them an arboreal cage. Well, it doesn't have to be completely arboreal. We're not talking about, something that's overly tall, but we keep the pair in a 18 by 18 by 18 cube, and they've done really well for us. You could see that the female's tail is a bit squiggly towards the end. That's because she's been breeding for us this season. We will separate her from the male for about 4 to 6 months so she could get those calcium reserves back, because she's been laying quite a few eggs for us. But what I've seemed to have noticed with this species is that if you don't catch those eggs early, they crap out on you really quick. So if we didn't catch them within a couple of days, they'd be dried up and deflated in the lay box. But I'm really happy to say that we have produced 4 this season. Now, the first 2, I don't have a video of. They're not here right now, just because we really wanted to produce these guys. We were really happy when we produced the first clutch. And we wanted to make sure that this clutch was always under somebody's care, I guess, attention, whatever. Just because I'm not here too often, and neither is Joseph, so sometimes we'll be away from safari reptiles for 5 days at a time, and we want to make sure that once we finally produce these babies, because again, she has laid a bunch of eggs, but we've lost like probably 8, unfortunately. So now that we finally hatched out some, we wanted to make sure we didn't lose those babies. So even though they're really easy to take care of, arboreal cage, you could have some coconut fiber for substrate, and you could actually keep these guys dry, which, usually for our arboreal species, you would think that they're a tropical species and that you're going to spray them every couple of days. But these guys, we spray maybe once a week, if that. So yeah, the babies are pretty easy to take care of too, from what we've seen so far. They feed on 1/4-inch crickets. If they're born really small, which ours were born pretty big, which I was quite pleased with. You'll see babies here in a second. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, pretty excited about this. When I'm excited, I tend to just, kind of ramble. But yeah, those first babies are at Joseph's place, so I haven't been able to film them. But we got 2 new babies today, which I'm about to show you. But let's just appreciate the adult female here for a little bit longer. You could see that they have those awesome like silver markings around the pupil, those bright red eyes. It's not too well lit in this room, so it's not showing up as well as it usually does. The eyes are looking more like a blood red, when really in person they're more of a bright red. But you can see she's super calm, and try to get her to flick her tongue out here. They have these really cool black tongues, but yeah, she's really comfortable on me right now. Doesn't want to move too much. So I find these geckos make really good pets, especially if you're limited on space, because they are a small species. But they're pretty easy to handle. Like I said, I find they're a lot easier to handle than your crested gecko, just to say. But let's put her back. And now let's take a look at the babies. So these guys are tiny, like really small. Look at these little things. You can see we got another egg here, so with any luck we'll hopefully have produced 5 of these babies by the end of the season. Let me just grab this guy. And obviously these guys will not be as tame as the adults. It's funny, I actually have a picture of one of these 2 babies that when it was born it was mouth gaping and you saw the neon blue on the inside of the mouth. Look at that little thing. Super tiny. I mean, you could see it's just so small, but already those beautiful eyes. The gold on the tail doesn't show up right away. It's more of like a brown color while they're young. It's really as they get to be adult size that the really nice colors start coming in. See, he has a little bit of vermiculite on his eye. So let's put him down. Let's go to this guy in the corner. He's a bit lighter. This might have been the meaner one. Yeah, this one I think is the meaner one. Or I shouldn't say meaner, but the one that's a little bit more stressed. Look at that thing. Absolute beauty. Super tiny. Oh, you actually saw that black tongue for a second. These guys are so cool. Don't know if we're going to sell any, though. We might keep all 4, grow them up, and maybe exchange with some other people that have these guys up here to get some different blood going on. If we could find somebody else. I mean, we got them from, I think, one of the only guys that's produced them up here in Canada. So we're definitely among the few people that have produced Strophurus taenicauda up here in Canada, which is really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. These guys are awesome geckos. I really suggest you guys look them up. Strophurus taenicauda, common name is golden-tailed geckos. There's also a couple of other really neat looking animals in the genus. I believe the other one that I really like is the Strophurus ciliaris. I think that's what it is. The second part of the name definitely starts with a C, but they actually have really cool spines on their tail. But I find the Strophurus colors, you know, when it comes down to the eyes, the mouths, and the color on the tail, I find they're a nicer colored gecko. But I mean, those other geckos, the ciliaris, I think they're called that, they simply look like they're out of this world. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram, Safari Reptiles, and like us on Facebook, also Safari Reptiles. Thanks guys, and take care.